Still don't know.
And welcome to the WAN show, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a fantastic show for you guys today. YouTube Rewind. Yeah!
It's happening!
Yeah!
It's happening! Yeah!
It's going to get nothing but thumbs up.
Because it's impossible to see anything else, sort of.
And the RTX 2060 12 gig has launched, and in a massive shock to everyone, it is not in stock anywhere. What else we got this week?
The Game Awards to games and announces announcements. Hooray!
Wow. Okay, we're going to have to talk about that It Takes Two won Game of the Year.
Yep.
We'll talk about that, I promise.
In other gaming news, the trailer for Ubisoft's NFT cosmetic system called Quartz got so many dislikes, it was unlisted. I don't think automatically, right? Like they just pulled it down?
I mean, it can't happen automatically,
Yeah,
but how could it get so many dislikes, and how could anybody know? Well, we're going to talk about that too, aren't we?
Yeah.
But first, we're going to roll the intro.
Yeah.
So many people unironically answering my question as though I don't know the answer to it. The one about how you could possibly see dislikes. Oh. And the show is brought to you by Freshbooks, Redux, and Anker.
We talked about it on WAN show last week.
Luke, I know that.
I needed to answer that part of your question.
What you need to do is look into your microphone.
I could hear myself so clearly, though.
Yeah,
Maybe
okay.
it's the headphones.
Let's jump right into our first topic of the day. Wait, is this even like in the doc or?
What one?
The one about YouTube Rewind coming back.
No, it's not.
Okay, YouTube Rewind. Maybe we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's do our second topic of the day. First topic is going to be that the RTX 2060 12 gig has launched. And as you guys might have noticed, we did a video about it, talking about, what a new RTX 2060 might be like, how this might affect the overall supply of graphics cards for gamers, why Nvidia might have made the seemingly somewhat controversial move of increasing it to 12 gigs of GDDR6 memory, especially when you consider that some, GDDR6 shortages have occurred over the last year and a half. And basically, as far as we can tell, this whole thing was super sketchy because this was basically barely even a rumor until all of a sudden it went from barely a rumor to confirmed and launched over a span of days. As far as we're aware, no press were seeded units for review, so there was no real way to evaluate it in spite of the fact that it is a different card. It's somewhere in between the 2060 and the 2060 Super, and obviously it's got a larger frame buffer, which we would have loved to investigate. But the official availability is supposed to be somewhere in the neighborhood of around 3 to 3.5 weeks after the actual launch, which occurred on December the 7th, or in early 2022. So this is actually about the most paper launch that we've seen in a very, very long time. In fact, it's to the point now where when we did our video, we did hear back from a board partner, ASUS, got back to us, and we were like, hey, so obviously the burning question on everyone's mind is, how much does this thing cost? And they were like, if I know.
Hope it worked.
Yeah, I hope the button worked.
Yeah.
Early European listings suggest a price of roughly $660 to $700 although it's often not as simple as just doing a currency conversion from European pound rubles, whatever currency they have over there, euros, that's the one, from euros or pounds or whatever other currency to US dollars. A lot of the time it ends up being a lot closer to a 1-to-1 exchange rate, even though that's really not how things work.
Weird, yeah.
Previous leaked listings from French e-tailer PC21 started at 500 US, but they've been bumped up to around 609. And Anthony jumps in to say that this is pre-VAT. So that could be pretty rough, especially when you consider the launch price of the RTX 3060, which was, Luke,
Where did it go? I just saw it. $329.
$329. That's right. The RTX 2060 and 2060 Super both launched at $349 3 years ago and are apparently now going to be relaunching at somewhere in the neighborhood of $500 to $700 US, and that assumes that you can even find one in stock.
Wouldn't that be sweet as a business?
The craziest part of this, it's basically real estate. GPUs are behaving like real estate to the point where, like, okay, honestly though, Vancouver, especially commercial real estate, has gotten to the point where developers will just not sell things because it's actually more profitable to just build it and sit on it than it is to build it, take a profit margin, and sell it to someone to occupy, especially when you can lease it while you sit on it and your profits go stonks.
Yeah.
Like really, GPUs, it's free. They're free real estate, except they cost money. Putting this in even more context, the RTX 3080, okay? The 3080 had a $699 US MSRP when it first launched. Now, there is one bit of extra information we have now that we didn't have before. Apparently, the reason for it to have 12 gigs of GDDR6 is that the 16 gigabit chips are more widely available. Although that sort of rings a little hollow when all of this stuff is basically unobtainium. Also, those chips are the same ones used for the RTX 3060 and could have possibly been used for the RTX 3050. Though, as we mentioned in our video, it is quite possible that NVIDIA is utilizing GPU fab capacity that would not have been possible to use for an RTX 30 series card. Oh, man. So if you can get one, performance will be a lot worse than an RTX 3060, but it'll have a lot more memory. And early reports indicate that the cards perform quite well for crypto right now because they're not late hash rate. And get this, conveniently, whenever Ethereum eventually moves to proof of stake, these will be ready. Or wait, no, it's not the proof of stake change that requires more VRAM, is it? I forget. I'm a little rusty on the details. Whatever. There's supposed to be an Ethereum change at some point that made it require way more VRAM, and this will be ready for it. Which kind of makes you wonder if Nvidia just launched this to meet mining demand, or if this has anything to do with meeting demand for gamers.
I seriously doubt the latter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're probably not going to get one anyways, so
fine. So
at least you know it's launching. At least you're up to date on the tech news. There you go.
Yeah, we can't. No
problem.
Yeah, okay.
Minor problem. In other tech news, sort of gaming news, the Game Awards awards to games and announces announcements. There's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of announcements. First, I think we'd skip all of that and go to the awards. Yeah.
Sure.
Best game direction. I'm skipping Game of the Year. We'll talk about that at the end.
Fine. Okay, I did not watch the Game Awards. It's so funny. I
didn't either.
I'm far enough removed from it now that I think it's probably fine to talk about this. But you know how I was in an ad at the Game Awards? I think it was either last year or the year before. I can't remember. I was in a Samsung TV like ad spot during the Game Awards.
Okay,
and it was super cool to be part of that. It was really cool the way we were able to throw it together in our studio and shoot effectively an ad that aired during the Game Awards, which is my initial response was, Game Awards? Sorry, is that a big deal? Or I have literally never in my life watched the Game Awards because my understanding is it's only been going on for 10 years or so, something like that.
I think it's been a while. But it has been a big deal for quite a while.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is I basically took 10 years off gaming.
Right.
While I founded a company and had kids and didn't play any video games. So established in 2014, so it's only been around for 7 years. So I was just Game Awards? Yeah, I mean, that sounds super cool, and it sounds good. That's awesome. But I'm so sorry, everyone. I have literally never watched the Game Awards. Yeah, Jay Horace says it's almost bigger than E3 at this point. Okay, I know that E3 is irrelevant now, but I didn't have time for E3 either. I think we attended E3 as a company once, and I didn't go.
Yeah. And I determined it was a waste of time because I was the one that went.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. You were, because I think you were the one that pitched it to me.
Yeah, well, if we went the year before,
Yeah,
it would have been awesome.
because there were like a console launch, or there were like 2 console launches the year before you went or something.
It wasn't even that. There was actually a large amount of hardware companies that went and launched hardware there. It was really weird. And I was like, okay, if they're going to do this again,
then
this is going to be big. And then we went and they didn't do it again.
Because they probably went and decided it was a waste of time.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Okay,
that it just a bit of a swing and a miss, and then we never went back.
Anyway, so I don't have a ton of context for any of this other than that you're about to tell me who won the Game Awards this year. Hit me.
Best game direction, Deathloop. Have you ever heard of it?
I think I've heard of Deathloop.
I was going to say, probably, honestly, the majority of people watching have.
Yeah, I haven't played it though.
Pretty cool game concept. I have not personally played it, but I can see why it could have won this category. Best action/adventure game, Metroid Dread.
Okay.
I have also not played it.
Yep.
But the things that it's against, I could definitely see it winning that.
Cool. What did it go up against?
I think probably, I don't know, but I think probably its strongest competition would have been Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
There was a lot of kind of movement around that game. I would have, if I saw this list without the winner highlighted, I probably would have suspected it was that one. Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy also actually looks like an actually well-made game, which you probably would not expect given the name, because most games that are made off of movies are not very great.
Yeah.
Most anticipated game was Elden Ring, who also won the most anticipated game of last year. Last year's list of most anticipated games is almost identical to this year's list of most anticipated games.
Cool. I mean, hey, the truth is,
same winner.
Games take a long time to develop. Okay,
it does. They do.
It's very time consuming. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for God of War Ragnarok. The previous God of War was amazing.
I did hear that.
I wasn't a fan of any of the God of Wars before the remake.
Yeah, but have you ever owned a PlayStation?
No. But that type of game I'm also not into.
Right, okay,
Like, there's games like that on Xbox. This one's more of like an adventure game. It's really cool. Okay, getting into the finale. Best multiplayer game of the year, It Takes Two.
Oh, so it's not Game of the Year.
It's also Game of the Year.
Well, oh, really?
We're doing multiplayer game first, though.
So, this happens to be the one, like, big release this year that I did play.
Not true.
What? What
Valheim.
Oh, I played Valheim.
Yeah.
Valheim came out this year?
I think so.
And It Takes Two beat Valheim?
That's the really surprising thing to me. It beat New World. That should be a given. New World's trash. It beat Back 4 Blood. That should be a given in my opinion. Just go play Left 4 Dead 2. It beat Monster Hunter Rise. I never played that. It beat Knockout City. I legitimately don't know what that is. But it beat Valheim. That is very stunning to me.
Okay, hold on a second. Floatplane chat is not pleased. Frey says It Takes Two was an amazing game. Nightpause says It Takes Two is a fantastic game, to be fair. All right, one moment, please. It Takes Two is a beautiful game. The environments, the creativity that went into it are just outstanding. But the story, oh man. Spoiler alert, okay? You just keep chasing the MacGuffin constantly. It's just, you have not come far enough yet. I don't know what his accent is. I forget. But have you played it?
No, not yet. We're going to, but not yet.
Really? Okay. So here's the problem with it.
I own it, and I've been waiting, but anyways, yeah.
Here's the problem with It Takes Two, is that if you are a non-gamer, the puzzles and the level design are probably pretty creative and or maybe even a little bit challenging. But for me, as like someone who's been playing video games since I was 7 or whatever, sitting on the couch next to my wife, it's a little hard to stay engaged. Night pause. I am not at the end yet either. I have gotten extremely tired of collecting pages or collecting whatevers, and because it's all just an excuse to And oh man, the character development pacing is so bad. Like, because they have to be. Okay, again, I said spoiler alert, so I can talk about it. So you've got this couple that they're about to get divorced, and their child is sad and wants them to get together. And first of all, as a child of divorced parents, I think that any kind of narrative that somehow puts the responsibility on the child to do anything, get their parents together, take responsibility for splitting them up, whatever it is I thought it was stupid. It was just stupid. Two adults who can't stand each other should not get back together because the child is sad, because a toxic environment, quite frankly, is probably not any better.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sort of, I got baggage. Okay. I got baggage. Anyway, they start out kind of being sick of each other's BS. She works all the time, and I don't know, I forget what his sin is. He doesn't help out enough or something. I can't remember. But the point is that the kid is super sad, and so there's this supernatural intervention that takes place where the two parents are turned into these little doll representations of the little kid's toys, and they have to go through this journey of reconciliation with each other where they learn to work together and they learn to cooperate and build each other's relationship, or build their relationship back up. And because you need to see that development, like that character development, as you go through each challenge, they learn to trust each other a little again,
Sure,
and they rediscover his passion for gardening.
Please tell me there's a meter. Does the trust meter go up?
Is
there
no,
a trust meter?
no.
Dang.
Or they
All right.
appreciate that she really does work really hard, and that's her love language, or whatever it is. And they
Sure.
make this progress, and then they dump you back to this NPC who guides you through the process, and they immediately are back to full on can't stand each other again. And then it resets, and then they reconcile a bit again, and then immediately they're back to full on can't stand each other again. So it's this the game can't decide how long it was supposed to be. And in my opinion, this is probably the only time as a gamer ever where I've looked at a game and I've gone, they had too much budget. You know what I mean? You know how often it happens where you'll reach the last third of a game, you'll be like, oh, they ran out of time. Or they ran out of budget.
Yes, that's definitely happened a lot.
Whereas I think It Takes Two could have been an outstanding 6 to 8 hour gaming experience.
Right.
Jam packed. Like a Portal experience.
Ubisoft has that issue right now with all their games.
But we've sat down. I mean, I'd have to check. I actually don't know if Origin has a log for how many hours you've put into a game. I'm not 100% sure how I'd even check it. But we have put more than that in, and we're not done yet. And oh yeah, right. So JR6955 says this seems like a couples therapy game. So that's the other issue, is it's so repetitive because the lessons are always the same lesson. Work together. Yeah, I got it. It's in the title of the f***ing game. I know, right? So give me some new character development. My main problem with the game is
They should have a sequel where they decide to break up.
It takes only one. Or they could have a polyamorous sequel. It
takes many.
It takes 3 or more.
Oh man.
So my issue is that while it's a
MMO.
beautiful game and it ran flawlessly, I didn't have any technical bugs with it, and I thought the voice acting was pretty solid. Overall solid. It has a terrible story. It has a terrible story. It has a basically non-existent story. It falls into that trap of storytelling that goes, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. It's right, but what are the consequences? What's the outcome? Where's the but then? But then there was this crazy thing. No, it just is always the same thing.
Yeah.
You always do what the guy told you to do, and you work together, and each stage is like probably anywhere from half an hour to 90 minutes of gameplay, and you get through it, and it's like, you need to work together some more! And you're like, well, could we have worked together enough to do something, and maybe the daughter does more than... go around and see her sad mom sleeping on the couch or whatever and look like a creepy, uncanny valley. Wow, how does she look so weird character? Knock23 says, the game isn't aimed at Linus. The story follows a lot like a previous relationship I had. Well, I mean, it's not that I can't relate. I mean, Yvonne and I have been together 15 years. You think we never fought about anything? You think we haven't drifted farther and drifted
also,
closer? And
child of divorce, and we've actually had a lot of comments come in and saying, like, as a child of divorce, this game just kind of pissed me off.
So
I don't know. My parents are still chilling.
Yeah, you know what? This is pretty good. JR6955 says it's, well, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit, but it's like it constantly teases you, but you never finish, So I haven't finished the game. I never finished the game. Get your mind out of the gutter, Luke. Mind out of the gutter. Mind out of the gutter.
I mean, that could maybe that has to be one of the storylines. It's a problem. Anyways.
True Scott says he hasn't reached the bring back the spark in your relationship part yet. That's the whole part. That's the whole thing. It's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Is the multiplayer good to bring it all the way back to the award?
Yes.
Okay.
The co-opness is good. Jake's been in the chat. He's like, yeah, I played it for half an hour with the GF. They should have had difficulty tiers. It was way too easy for pretty much anyone that games. Like, again, I can enjoy it from my wife is having fun and I'm spending time with her kind of perspective. But the thing is that even though she's certainly not a hardcore gamer, she's absolutely capable of playing hardcore games.
Yeah.
Like, she can play Left 4 Dead, Team Fortress 2. Like, we could sit and play an actual game together.
Very divisive and Overcooked. Which, like, sure, it's a game about cooking, but it's also, like, still a gamer game.
You said divisive. I think you meant decisive.
Decisive, sure.
Okay, you meant that she causes divisions on the team, or?
I don't think that's what divisive means.
Yeah, it does. Okay, I think you meant good at delegating or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. To be clear, I mean, if you think she's divisive, that's fine. I just really don't think that was what you meant. Like causing rifts.
Disagreements? No, yeah, that's not
yeah,
what I meant.
okay, cool. So yeah, she can play games that actually require skill, but because she hasn't played a lot of adventure games, she's still like enjoying the puzzles. Whereas I walk into a room or a boss battle and I see the glaring weak point and the obvious sort of, mechanism for it. I'm like, oh, okay, this. Right.
Yeah. Look for the glowing thing. A game that I think did that, and I've talked about it a million times, but Titanfall 2, the storyline is honestly really short.
I still need to play it.
But they never overuse any mechanics. There's a few times where I'm like, man, like I really wish I had that for longer, but then at the same time, if I had it for too long, I probably wouldn't think the mechanic was as cool.
It Takes Two actually does that really well as well.
Okay.
So each of the new stages issues you new gameplay mechanics that you then use to solve problems.
So they're not interesting enough?
They're interesting, but the game is just too long.
Okay.
The stages are too long, and there are too many stages, and there's not a consistent character development that is taking place. The way it feels, and I could be totally wrong because I'm not an expert on the game development process, but the way it feels to me is as though they set out with 10 or 15 or however many zones they are, and they set out with 10 to 15 teams and said, create unique gameplay elements and create a whole bunch of puzzles for people to solve, and then they just put them all in an order that kind of felt good. And so that's why you're going through this develop, back to zero. Develop, back to zero. It's like playing Zelda games. It's like playing all the Zelda games back to back, where for whatever reason, from one moment to the next, Link suddenly has amnesia and lost all of his shit, and you're starting over again. And it really just feels like that. I'm talking about It Takes Two.
Okay, so just within the confines of the Best Multiplayer Game Award, do you have any problems with that?
Best Multiplayer Game Award.
Multiplayer game.
So here's an interesting conversation. One of the things that I noticed about YouTuber awards, for example, is that Mr. Beast has won Creator of the Year twice in a row.
Sure.
I don't disagree. So why can't a game win Multiplayer Game of the Year twice in a row, especially when you consider how game development has changed? We don't get, unless you're EA, we don't get just a new edition with a new year number tacked onto the end of it of fundamentally, that genre every year.
I think it would have to be evaluated on the changes that happened to that game. So if in my opinion, if that game was still under heavy development,
sure.
It
so
could.
How about this? Let's take a game like, okay, you and I have both been talking about how incredible it is that Anno 1800 is still in active development 4 years after release.
Yeah.
And not just like, hey, we added a new horse armor that you can buy.
Yeah.
Like since the game
Genuinely
originally
exciting updates.
Since the game originally launched with 2 regions, so there's the old world and the new world, they have since added the Enbisa region, the Arctic region, a shed load more resident classes, building
material
types,
yeah.
and not just building types, but like fundamental changes to the way that you build your cities and develop your trade. They've they've really really changed the game a lot
and
since
in
it was
positive
released.
ways. I think I can't think of an update other than potentially that one character. I can't think of an update that isn't cool. The anarchist.
Yeah.
That's the only one that I'm like, eh.
Yeah, that character is sort of, I finally figured out how you get rid of his mines. So we can talk about that later, because we thought there was just this kind of unassailable NPC, but you actually can do stuff.
Okay.
So
yeah, multiplayer game.
Yeah.
So the options are Back for Blood,
Well-
It Takes Two, Knockout City, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, Valheim. I know you're not going to be able to comment on essentially any of those, except for maybe Valheim.
Valheim, I mean, was really awesome when I played it. But I could see going for something a little more lowest common denominator.
Or maybe unique. Because It Takes Two is an only co-op experience, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
there's
can't play
not
it
that
alone.
many of those games. They exist, but there's not that many of those games.
People are like, that award exists. It's called Best Ongoing Game. Right. But what I'm saying is that with the way that games get developed, like you look at, I don't know if it was the first one, but WoW certainly mainstreamized it. Releasing a game once and then updating it and at sometimes actually making it better and other times
Usually not.
not as much. That's fair criticism. So you'd obviously have to legitimately make your game the best game again. But I don't know. I don't really see a reason why you couldn't say, you know what, this particular game, amazing. Conrad says Final Fantasy XIV literally won an award, and that's super cool. I just don't see why you have to specifically carve out an ongoing game award. I just don't see why you wouldn't just say, okay, yeah, in this genre, this happens to still be the best game.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah. Anyways, then moving on to the final one is Game of the Year. The contenders were Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village.
Given how much everyone loved Ratchet and Clank, I haven't played it again. I don't have a PlayStation, so I haven't played it, but
The feedback for a lot of these games was actually quite positive.
like overwhelmingly positive, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything more to say about it, quite frankly. I didn't play the other games, so I can't really comment. All I can say is that It Takes Two is a cool game, but I have a really hard time accepting it as the best game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was a risk-taking game, and I could absolutely see it winning some kind of award.
Sure.
I think it's really cool that PC gaming is finally getting couch co-op experiences that were really built for couch co-op instead of having it tacked on as an afterthought.
Yeah.
But I Yeah, I don't know. I game of the year, I have such a hard time with. Beautiful game. I don't feel compelled to finish it.
I'd kind of argue this wasn't exactly the absolute strongest year ever.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think if Breath of the Wild came out this year, we'd probably be looking at a different outcome, but...
Yeah. And a lot of the strong releases of this year came out like right now, which is kind of hard to include in an award show that happened right now.
Yeah. Maybe if Halo Infinite had come out when it was supposed to come out, they would have had a shot at it.
And if it had co-op baked in.
Yeah, if it was what it was supposed to be when it was supposed to be, that might have worked out pretty well for them.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there was some concerns about giving an award to a game that has so much backlash, because there is a huge amount of backlash over the cosmetic system and all this kind of stuff. And
is there?
Oh, yeah.
As someone who has completely ignored it, it hasn't been bothering me.
I checked out the Halo subreddit once and went, whoa, and then kind of laughed and left because it was so negative. Everyone that I had talked to about Halo was like, yeah, man, it's really fun. Then you go on the Halo subreddit, it's just hatred. I'm like, whoa, okay.
It's almost like, communities that have become so jaded and so cynical just don't even want a W anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been having fun. Part of it is that I haven't touched a Halo game since Halo 2.
Yeah.
And I only really played Halo 1. So, for me, everything's fresh. I'm like,
wow, this is so new.
Wow, this has gotten a lot better.
What are all these guns? Jaden refunded the campaign because he has a 1080 and he's having serious performance issues.
With a 1080?
With a 1080.
He sure as heck won't be buying anything higher end than a 1080 these days.
Nope.
I mean, man.
I haven't like dove into it or anything, but yeah, he refunded it because he found it unplayable.
Like even 1080s are worth they worth like $500-$600 still or something stupid like that?
It's not a cheap card right now.
Yeah, it's not a good time to upgrade.
Conrad says it's fantastic. Most people that I've heard from have said it's fantastic. Jaden, as far as I know, liked it a lot, but then when it was like in like contained corridors and stuff, and then it became open world and it was just unplayable.
I've heard there's performance issues on the consoles out in the open world parts as well.
Makes sense. But my brother asked me to wait.
Oh, you know what? I was about to ask you to wait.
Yes. Yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah, we should just wait and co-op it.
Yeah.
I haven't played yet either.
That's my current plan. Is I'm waiting for co-op to open up.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna end up playing co-op with like a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
And that sounds great.
Yeah.
But I don't think I want to play it single player. I never really played Halo single player.
Well, it's because you had an Xbox.
That's true.
I played it single player because the PC version of Halo 1 didn't have co-op.
Yeah. But like I don't know. Yeah, I had it on Xbox and I always played it Halo 1 and Halo 2 and Halo 3 a little bit, but mostly Halo 1 and Halo 2. I played with my dad or my brother or my friends or whatever. I never really played Halo alone. So playing Halo...
Look at this guy flexing his Xbox and his friends growing up. And the fact that his parents took an interest in video games with him. Luke, could you attack me more?
Hey man, we can play when co-op comes out, okay?
All right, sounds
After
good.
it gets delayed 3 times, all right? We'll play in 2023.
Yeah, 2023, no problem. Speaking of 2023, I can't wait till 2023 to tell you guys about our sponsors.
Oh, so good.
Got 'em. Where are they? Here it is. There you go. Show's brought to you today by Freshbooks. Freshbooks is easy-to-use accounting software that helps you do your business. That's right. You need to use the toilet? Freshbooks has got you covered because you can actually do a lot of your accounting from there on your phone. Haha. With FreshBooks, you can impress your clients. I hope they don't watch the spot. You can impress your clients with professional-looking invoices that detail the work you've done. You can use automated payment reminders if invoices get past due. You can easily track expenses and use their time tracker to log every minute of billable hours so you don't have to think about it later. And you can keep everyone on the same page with their projects feature, which makes it easy for clients, your team, and your contractors to collaborate, share files, and comment. Choose a plan that's right for you and start your free trial of FreshBooks for 30 days today. No credit card required at freshbooks.com/WAN. They've added so many features over the years. It's like really powerful now. The show is also brought to you by Build Redux. Redux creates PCs for gamers who want to win and who want high frame rates without breaking the bank. Through Build Redux's website, you can easily configure your PC and see how it is optimized for the games that you want to play. The goal is to create the best gaming PC for any budget without cutting corners. You might cut some quarters, okay? But not cutting corners on gaming quality and performance. Plus, it's backed by a 2-year parts and labor warranty, so you're covered there. Start your build today at buildredux.com/Linus or at the link down below. Finally, the show is brought to you by Anker, asking if you can showcase the quiz mentioned below on stream. All good if not. Okay. You go to the us.anchor.com homepage. There is apparently a quiz. Find the right gift. Hold on a second. I'm just going to put it, and it's gone. There it is. Find the right gift, and you just take the quiz. Okay, Luke, let's take the quiz for each other.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yep. Wow, this is very judgmental.
Yeah, wow.
Tech snobbery. 10.
Style, you say?
What the heck is textile? I feel like I have none of it.
Oh no, someone has hacked your friend's computer and their files, and this is hilarious. Their files and data are about to be published all over social media. What do they do? Oh man, this is great. I can't wait. Okay, what do they do? What do they do? Oh wow, should I answer this honestly?
I don't know, man. It's up to you.
Okay, I'm just going to answer it as honestly as I can. So old it takes 30 seconds to open an app. The battery lasts only 10 minutes from a full charge. Where do they look for a new phone? Okay. Oh, man. Oh, man. Sure. Yep. OMG, your friend's house is on fire. Don't worry, the pets are safe. It looks like they only have time to rescue their phone and one other device. Which do they take? Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go with this one. Okay. We think your friend would like... Wow, this is a really, really bad suggestion. Okay, are you almost done?
I'm almost done, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to hear your answers. This is hilarious. Are you still on question 3, Luke?
Yeah, all the answers sucked. No, I don't think you would do... I don't think any of those correctly apply to you at all. Anyways, okay.
All right, well, I'm going to talk through what it suggested for Luke. We think your friend would like an Anker 622 magnetic battery, Mag Go. It appears to be like an iPhone MagSafe battery that also acts as a stand. Did it suggest the same bloody thing to both of us? Okay. What were your answers? Can we go back through the quiz?
I didn't even like them. I feel like you're going to be like, no, it should have been something else. And I'll be like, yeah, you're probably right. Because a lot of them I don't think apply. How do we go back?
You can't.
You just do it again?
So I said your tech addiction was pretty strong. Your tech knowledge was not quite as strong. I had you at a 2 for tech snobbery and a 1 for tech style.
Well, those are probably both fine.
Yeah, realistically.
I did 10, 10, 10, 3 or 4.
Yeah, okay. So for the someone hacked your friend's computer, I put that you would
okay, next.
hack the hacker and steal their pics in retaliation.
Okay.
And what did you say?
I said calmly contact customer service and the authorities and hope they can stop it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I wouldn't have any illusions that they can stop it, but
no, but that's sort of what we've tried to, because there was the Twitter thing forever ago, right?
Yeah.
So I thought back to that.
I did contact the authorities. Yeah. And in that case, it was because they could do something.
So it wasn't directly,
Yes.
I wasn't directly answering the question, but I was like, this is as close as I can get.
Your friend's phone is so old it takes 30 seconds to open an app and the battery lasts 10 minutes. I said, who cares if it has a screen and fits in their pocket? That's enough.
That's probably accurate. I said they've been waiting for the new Snapdragon chip for a year. This is
Yeah,
perfect.
no, I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
For VR headsets are now so advanced you can't tell the difference, and everyone has one. How does your friend use theirs? I put that you'd hack it and use it to emulate NES games.
Nice.
Does that seem like the closest one?
No, I probably do number one.
Fight aliens in a distant galaxy? I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, I was memeing a little bit.
Because I feel like NES games in VR would just kind of be terrible.
You'd still do it at least once.
Yeah, that's true.
So my answer was not wrong. It just wasn't
that's fair.
the most right.
I said number one.
Yeah, I mean, they're
Because-
not more like blocks in distant galaxies.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing I fight in VR is
Yeah. I looked at the other ones, so I was like, he's not going to use it as a doorstop.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to use it to work with others in VR environments. Like, that's not a thing.
I strongly prefer for a technophile. I
In-person.
strongly prefer in-person
Yeah,
interaction.
like I feel like 4 would be the most wrong.
Like it's a really funny thing. I'll be traveling, right? And this even goes like before my most recent trip. I'll be traveling, and my wife will call me at like kind of close to bedtime. She'll be like, "Hey, do you want to say goodnight to the kids and have a video call?" I'm like, "No, not really."
I want to see.
I don't like talking to people on the phone. I don't like talking to people on video chat.
At the same time, though, it's very good. I feel like it's a needed thing in some.
Yeah, for sure.
scenarios.
But it's not my jam if I can avoid it. I would
Okay.
realistically, if someone moved far away, I would just fall out of contact with them. I know. I sound like a heartless B word, but I'm not
I mean,
going to
that's
get
a
on
reality that happens with a lot of people. So being honest about it, I don't think is a negative.
I'm not
thing.
going to get on a video call with you every Saturday and
No.
be like, "Hey,
I'm the same type of person.
I'm sorry. You moved. I didn't move."
And it means nothing personal, right? It's just not how brain works.
It's just not my jam.
Yeah.
And question 4. The unfortunate thing about question 4 is they didn't have an answer that was my data. I would run
Yeah.
for my server.
Yeah.
100%. That is the only thing in my house that has. In fact, I wouldn't even bother with my phone. What do I need my phone for? I would run straight for the server, and I would try and rip as many drives out of it as I can.
So what did you put for me?
For you, I put you've got it stored in an expensive protective case, so you can just grab that. I kind of like.
It was a bit of a throwaway.
It was a bit of a throwaway because it was kind of like, oh, well, he's probably, got his data backed up and
So-
doesn't care about anything. Anyway.
Yeah, I had the exact same reaction to this. I almost clicked on the protective case one for the exact same reason that you did. The one that I selected was their smartwatch because it said, what's the point of being alive if they don't have the data to prove it? And I was
Sure.
like, the only thing he would save is the data. So it wasn't about the smartwatch.
Right.
I was just like, none of these things. There's no way he's going to grab his PS5. He wouldn't waste any amount of time doing that. So that's dumb.
I don't even have one.
I know he doesn't have anything stored in an expensive protective case. So I thought about like maybe that's enough of a whatever, but I didn't bother. And then like nothing. I'm like, well, he's not going to grab nothing either.
Yeah.
So I just went with that thing.
So in
I
conclusion,
did take the quiz again.
Oops. Yep.
I put in different information. I got something else.
In conclusion, oh, did you? Okay.
Yes.
The stream is brought to you by Anker. Give the gift of Anker Power Products. Just because it didn't get the recommendation right for us doesn't mean they don't have lots of good products. So go check it out. Try the quiz and all that good stuff. Okay, Jake
I've
is
actually done
gonna
it twice now too.
Jake is gonna flip if we don't eventually show the pictures.
Yes.
We've got pictures of the lab. This is going to be pretty freaking cool. Don't worry, Jake. I wasn't ignoring you. We were going to get to it. I know you're petty like that. Maybe I'll delete the photos. You wouldn't. So, guys, the reno of the lab is almost done because we were keeping it pretty simple. Keeping it pretty simple here. So we've got some fresh paint on the walls. We've got some fresh access control going on. We've got fresh security cameras in there. Got that Ubiquity goodness. What else we got going on here? Oh, I think this is more of the this is probably PoE for the access control, I'm guessing.
Fully insulated and sound dampened.
It's sound. Oh, yeah. We'll show that. We're just in the front entryway, Callanan. We haven't gotten that far yet. The floors, I think we decided. Are we changing the carpet downstairs?
No,
We're just leaving it?
We're just redoing the stairway.
Just the stairwell. Yeah, the stairwell carpet is shockingly ugly. Yeah, so this room no longer looks so oppressive anymore, which is nice. Fortunately, whoever was in here before actually did a lot of power and networking stuff that we just now don't have to do.
That's what I said.
Oh, Jake says that's the fiber run.
Oh, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, I said
Okay.
that earlier. I said, yeah.
So this is where the fiber terminates. Oh, this is where the demarc is. Okay, so we got fiber into the building. This is where it was run to, so we would have had to have our networking equipment just sitting right in the front entryway, which would have been really stupid. So Jake and the boys, they, what is this? Did you guys just? You didn't splice it or anything, right? It's just like a coupler. I think they just coupled it, and then they ran it over somewhere else. We'll see that in a little bit. So it kind of runs above us. In fact, I think it runs along this cable management line right here. So they painted, I believe the ceiling might have been already black in here, but they painted the walls, so it looks a lot nicer in here. And then out in the like the warehouse, in what will actually be the lab, we painted, so it looks a lot nicer in terms of like colors. You guys won't see this part above, but what you will do is you will hear it.
Yeah.
We used the same like cellulose spray or something very similar to what we did, what we coated our existing studio with. And man, does it ever make a difference. Even without any of the equipment in there, you can actually carry on a conversation now instead of it just being like a ridiculous amount of reverb to the point where you can barely understand your own voice. Here's this from the alternate angle. Yeah, it was really bad.
I like the orange accent, by the way.
Yeah, right?
Even though it's just like a little splash, I think it's good.
Yeah, I just want it to have a little bit of LTT, you know?
Yeah, that's good.
Yvonne did the actual color scheme. I was like, hey, I just want like a little bit of orange and kind of grays and dark colors kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she made it happen.
That's good stuff.
So yeah, it looks awesome. Goes all the way over here, over by the door. Okay, yeah, there you go. Let's see if we're heading upstairs. Yeah, there you go. So the paint upstairs makes this part look a lot nicer as well. One of the things I noticed when I was up in this room today is that the HVAC is crazy loud in this room. So if we were going to have any hopes of doing anything acoustic related inside the office space, I think we might just need to give up on that. It's super loud. Part of the problem, though, might be that they've got it running full tilt right now because part of the curing process for that insulating and acoustic spray is that it off-gasses a lot of crap. So you want it just pumping everything out of there.
Yeah.
What you want ideally is you want to do it in the summer. You want to open up your bay door and you want just hot air
Big fans,
circulating. Yeah,
pumping.
Jake says the furnace is like right there. The HVAC probably going to have to be boxed. Yeah, we'll figure all that stuff out though. Give us time. Here's our sick networking closet. By the way, great job of the cable management, Jake. It looks gorgeous. I actually don't think he did most of it. I think most of it was one of our new guys who is still on probation. So, yeah, I shouldn't give maybe Jake too much credit for the nitty-gritty details.
There's some comments in the chat that little balcony thing with the little hobbit door below it should have a fire pole.
So the problem with that idea, I mean, aside from it being stupid, is that it's stupid. Okay, what else do I need? No.
There's like insurance problems.
Yeah, it's really not going to be a thing. It's not going to be a thing. Jake says, I've replaced the cables with small patch cables. By the way, Jake, I saw the green patch cables that you got for the pink rack. I'm not sure if I was supposed to see those yet, but I saw the box of them and I'm extremely excited. So we're going to have the like the mesh front door, the pink mesh front door, and then there's going to be just like green patch cables behind it. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm super excited. What else we got for topics today? Is there really anything else to talk about? The Matrix gets an Unreal Engine 5 experience on consoles. So Epic surprised everyone with a showcase of UE5 called The Matrix Awakened during the Game Awards.
Digital Foundry is very impressed, which is a good sign.
Yep. So, I mean, just to be clear, it's not a game, it's a tech demo, but there is a little bit of gameplay, a little bit of exploration. And it's the most Unreal Engine 5 that anyone's been able to actually try. So it's sort of a showcase, kind of like that Rock Lumen demo thing from May of last year, but it looks pretty freaking incredible. Yeah, looks pretty amazing. I don't know if I'm allowed to show it. Am I going to is this stupid video going to get claimed if I try to show
it
the
definitely
thing?
might. Yeah, maybe just go look it up yourself.
Yeah, go look it up yourself. Super cool though. Yeah, we're just not gonna do it. And what else we got here today? Lab renovation.
Ubisoft NFT thing?
Oh, do we really have to talk about it?
No.
No, let's do it. Hit me.
The trailer for Ubisoft's NFT cosmetic system Quartz got so many dislikes it was unlisted. The trailer went up on December 7th, and the first supposed game will be Ghost Recon Breakpoint. It was later delisted, the video that is, but the link is still around. Because, I mean, it's unlisted, so as long as you have the link, you can find it. They're the first major publisher to go live with an NFT system. Basically, every cosmetic is a unique digit with a serial number attached to it, which is engraved on the cosmetic item. There will be limited edition Quartz cosmetics. There's metadata belonging to each cosmetic, which will have the previous owner history. You can obtain your favorite streamers' used cosmetics at exorbitant prices. Nice. Just in case underpants were out of fashion. The
Gamer
beta,
water.
The beta for Quartz has already started in select countries, and you can check it out at, if you want, at quartz.ubisoft.com. Full rollout starts in 2022.
And the announcement was super popular. You can see that it's got... Oh, actually, you can't see anything of the sort because our window is in front of it. One moment, please. Nope, you still can't.
Scroll
can do
down.
This. Boop. Oh, lordy. It got 228,000 views, okay? And 1,500 thumbs up. Wow! That must be a really, really popular announcement that they made. And it's so useful that we don't have a way to express our displeasure in a way that brands actually suffer for. Except we kind of still do. So if you get the return YouTube dislike Chrome extension, boop, 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 boop. I'm not going to turn on sync. You can actually, I believe it still works until like 2 days from now. No, it doesn't seem to be. Oh yeah, there we go. The bar's here. 39,000 dislikes. Woo! So this is the big problem. Is that when YouTube removed the dislike button, and it's going to happen. So I think December 12th is the drop dead date for removing API access to dislikes. Is that
something like that? Yeah,
I think it's something
coming
like
up
that.
quick.
It's coming up real quick. When that happens, these kinds of extensions and these kinds of workarounds are going to go away. They will not work anymore, and you will have no way of knowing, looking at this video, how nearly universally unpopular this move is. And this, I don't want to belabor the point, but I think this is such a perfect example of the kind of stuff that is going to be so much easier to get away with, and that seems to indicate YouTube's at least secondary motive for making this move, because in a big surprise move, YouTube is bringing back a rewind replacement of sorts. It's not going to be called rewind,
live stream, right?
Because I think they would be crazy to call something rewind at this point. But I can tell you right now, it sounds honestly kind of cringe.
Of course it does.
So here's how it's going to work. It's a live interactive stream on December the 16th.
Nice.
Conveniently,
so there's going to be a live chat.
4 days after the dislike button goes away.
Good.
Totally a coincidence, Luke. Mm-hmm. And using the live chat, users will participate in challenges based on trends from this year, get involved in real-time experience, and answer trivia questions. When viewers complete all the challenges, they'll be able to watch a musical performance from a mystery guest.
Oh. That reward is
Is that the most
not
try-hard
cool.
that you have heard all year?
If the thing that I'm trying to think about is like if Steam did a thing where they were like, okay, we're gonna have an event. There's a bunch of challenge things you can do, and if you do them, some cool thing will happen, but you don't know what it is. I might partake. But because it's YouTube, I hate it.
But it's not even
and I don't know how fair that is.
It just is probably going to be awful.
Oh, yeah.
They've got some good guests. Apparently, BTS is going to be on there. So, surprise.
That's who I assumed
musical
the
guest.
reward was going to be.
And many popular YouTubers will appear, including Mark Rober. So, that's cool.
Nice.
But I just do not foresee any possible way that this will be anything other than cringe.
It's called Escape 2021?
Yeah, something like that. So basically my point is this really throws YouTube's intentions into question. Just with this very suspicious timing.
Yeah.
I know that they were working on this for quite some time, but this just really does not look like an accident. And then that Ubisoft thing is an example of public pressure, which is one of the only ways that we can affect any kind of change in our corporate overlords. Public pressure caused Ubisoft to at least be ashamed enough of this concept for now to pull the video to unlisted. And this is the end of it. In 2 days, you will no longer have any ability to push back. All they'll have to do is disable comments or moderate the comments, which is more likely. And people coming along this, let's say
also
impressionable young people who don't sort of fundamentally understand how stupid and potentially exploitative this concept is,
Oh, yeah.
will have no idea how horrible it is. Like, more transparency is always better. And you should always be outraged when transparency is being pulled away from you.
There's also creators that will just, I don't even know what it's called, favorite or whatever. It shows the creator's circle thing in a heart.
Yeah.
And it puts it at the top. There's creators that will just like bomb their own videos with those. They'll just heart like every single positive or neutral comment. And there's so many of them that it takes forever to scroll through it. You'll never really find the negative ones. Whew.
So, yeah, I'm really frustrated. There's another issue. Ryan77627 says, hey, not exactly. The extension will switch to cached/estimated versions of dislikes once the API is fully deprecated. It will not be as accurate, but it will certainly give a number.
There's a lot of videos that launch on YouTube every day, and a big part of the problem is product launches from companies, which that won't matter for. I brought that up last week. I think that is very cool, and honestly, in a lot of ways, I think that is very important, and there's ways that you can contribute and help those programs. So if you want to, go do it. But it is extremely far from solving the problem.
Jake, I actually was not following this. Apparently there's a 0 day that originated from Minecraft servers that caused a huge poo storm. Do you have any more details on this?
No, I don't actually. I heard people talking about it during the show. Yeah, I'm seeing articles from like 6 hours ago. I wouldn't have heard about this.
Got it. Cassie says, I wonder when Linus is going to release his book. I have made basically zero progress on it. I haven't touched it since the last time we talked about it, which was, I think, when WAN Show was in office pre-lockdown. So that should give you some idea. I mean, realistically, I don't think my book would be worth reading until I've bowed out of the industry and I'm ready to just go tell all on it. So...
Yeah.
Probably not anytime soon. Wow. I don't know about you, but I have not been on the ball on the incoming merch messages.
Oh, I've done some of them, but I keep forgetting.
Yeah. So how soon will it be where we can just click show even after the thing expires and it can just show it?
But that doesn't really work because right now it shows it without a message when it expires.
Oh. What if we just showed it again?
I mean...
Because that would be a lot better than having to like directly address Bananas for the boys from Ryan M. here.
Bananas for the boys. What do you mean? You don't want to address that? Come on.
Not really.
Come on.
Not really. All right. Is there anything else to talk about other than
I'm sure Conrad could find a way to make that work.
Ubisoft crap? I guess that's it.
I don't know.
All right,
really.
cool. Let's do some merch messages.
Yeah.
For those of you who are leaving super chats, you guys are doing it wrong. Merch messages are the way to send paid messages to the show, because that way, at least if we don't get to your message, you still get your order. Hey, there's no way for us to lose. Also,
and it functions.
super chats are broken, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus because they're really trying to help, but the workaround that I was offered for it was, okay, what's the saying when the cure is worse than the disease?
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah.
I just really don't think it made a ton of sense. So super chats, unless I happen to remember to click the viewer activity tab right at the beginning of the show, are still broken for me. So what you really need to do is send a merch message. You go to lttstore.com, check out some cool stuff. We got toques, we got water bottles, we got Northern Lights desk pads, we've got hoodies, we've got t-shirts. We've got the party shirt. We've got all kinds of good stuff over there. And then in the checkout, you can leave a little message and it'll pop up on the show, assuming that Luke and I managed to actually see the thing.
There is another thing to talk about, by the way.
Oh, what is it?
The Game Awards. We talked about the awards. We didn't talk about the announcements.
Oh, okay.
There's a few. Telltale is back. They're making a video game adaptation of the Amazon original TV series, The Expanse.
Never watched it and probably won't play it.
Nice.
But I did like Wolf Among Us, even though it got kind of samey and clearly they were not focused on it towards the
end.
The middle. Yeah.
I've always had problems with this name, but Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. A lot of people are really hyped about that. And Alan Wake 2 both got announced. People are really hyped about those.
Sure.
The Matrix Awakened, we actually mentioned that earlier, so I'm going to skip past it. In an effort to get a bigger slice of the Battle Royale pie that it helped bake, PUBG is going free to play. Actually kind of interesting.
Interesting. There's going to be some noobs to headshot.
Yeah.
Are you going to play?
I have never thought that game was cool solo. So if other people want to play, I'm down.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Wonder Woman game coming out, being made by Monolith, which, as other people have pointed out, I think is a very good pairing.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think they'll do a really good job with it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Pretty excited about that. Among Us VR. Could be cool.
Sure.
Paramount Plus is making a Halo TV series that apparently looks like very high budget. So that could be cool or terrible. We'll see. Probably cool. I would wager cool. And then there's Star Wars Eclipse, which looks really cinematic. The trailer that they put out looks really cool.
I mean, you saw my tweet earlier this week, I'm sure.
Did I? I don't know.
Oh, it was very funny. I said I want to fire the Star Wars sequels out of a cannon.
I did. Yes.
Get
that was
it?
good.
Get
that
it?
was good.
So
That
many
was
people
good.
didn't get it. Like, I had people correcting my spelling.
Oh.
And I was like, I spelled it with two N's, but not together. C-A-N-O-N.
Yeah.
I was about to say one N, but there's two in canon.
There's one at the end.
Oh, man.
So part of the problem behind this is not just that Star Wars has been a very up and down thing for a long time, mostly down. It's also that it's made by the French studio that's behind Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. It's listed in the doc as a minor controversy. I don't know how minor it is. I think it's more on the major side of things. But they were on the cancel train a couple years ago.
Right.
And as far as I know, it's kind of still the same crew.
Right.
And now they're making a Star Wars game, which is actually kind of interesting because usually Disney is very, they kind of try to keep their hands clean in regards to controversy stuff when they work with other companies. They've had a lot of controversies.
Yeah, I was going to say.
There's a lot of evil there.
Boy, are they ever bad at it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But usually when they try to work with other companies, they're like, no, you have to be squeaky clean.
Right.
So.
Oh, one moment, please.
You got to go?
Sorry, what's that?
Should I leave?
Oh,
I gotta go home.
give me 15.
I'm late for you then. I'm gonna leave first. Can you?
Okay. Bye. My wife is leaving without me.
I can drive you home.
No, that's okay. I'll just Uber.
Okay, whatever you want.
It's fine. It's completely the opposite direction. It doesn't make sense. All right, let's do some.
Anyways, they said some. I don't know all the details behind it because I heard about this literally today. But apparently in the past they said some like homophobic stuff and stuff. If you're interested, you can look into it. Their name is Quantic Dream. That's the developers behind Star Wars Eclipse.
Got it. All right.
Super chats.
Yeah, I mean, think you mean merch messages.
Merge messages.
All right.
Super messages.
Justice says, howdy from Ladner. What would be the best way to contact you in regards to maybe touring the neat building I work in? You're gonna want to try the just the publicly listed email. It does get monitored, not by me, but it does. Peter H asks, wife swap style LTT host swap series when? Also, more gift cards for the LTT backpack and screwdriver when they launch. Peter's buying gift cards. I have no idea. We were talking about wife swap on the pre-show, where I was joking that such a thing, probably exists, and it turns out not only does it exist, it ran for like 7 seasons, and there were like
spin-offs, and
there's similar clone shows and in different regions and stuff like that. Max asks, when is Luke going to host TechLinked? Yeah, you should totally host TechLinked. You should ask Riley for a chance to host TechLinked.
Sure.
Outfrost. LTT is expanding a lot. Would you consider reviewing mice, like build quality, or more home server stuff, like HBAs and NICs, like stability of aftermarket ones? Also, would love to see Linux compatibility on more reviews. I think Linux compatibility in particular is something that we would like to expand our testing to include.
The one issue with that is that it goes up and down, right?
That's fair, but
if it's in a fully working state at one point, it probably won't be that far from it in the future.
I think
yeah,
that's at least reasonable to think. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of this one. Nicholas says, not an expert here. Should a reasonably nerdy person calibrate their monitors and TVs, or is it only for content creation? Frankly, if all I'm doing is consuming, then all that matters is how it looks to me. Personally, I like to run my displays in like a color accurate mode, but I do not actually prefer a warm color temperature, which tends to be the most color accurate way of displaying it. So I tend to go for like a calibrated or a neutral type profile, and then a neutral color temperature rather than a warmer color temperature. And that's my personal preference, and it is totally up to you what your personal preference is for consumption. But when it comes to creation, obviously it's important that it's all created to a calibrated standard, so that when everybody else has their own preferences, they're not stacking their preferences on top of your preferences, causing all kinds of problems. Andrew asks, T-powered gaming PC when? We really do need to do that. It is on the list. I'd love to build something for the spiffing Brit. Enjoy your new mouse pad, Andrew. Ignition Knight. If I accidentally played Overcooked with my wife, do you think if we play It Takes Two, it can save the marriage? I mean, yes. Yes! It's the character, the super annoying book character. Yeah. Oh, man. Jake says for your TV, just use the Artings guide.
For an LTT-themed blanket, they are thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Yep, we're definitely thinking about it. Sebastian, just finished my fall semester in electrical engineering. Your videos were the only reason I pursued the field. 3 more semesters to go. Hey, keep up the good work, Sebastian. Love it. Christopher, thanks for the quality content. Just built my first PC at 20. Will be using it for my coffee roasting business. Control-Alt-Delete coffee roasters. Hey, very nice. Enjoy. Eli, are you guys going to talk about the log4j2 RCE exploit?
Yeah, that like
is that the Minecraft thing?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah, sorry, we don't know enough about it.
A little bit too tight to the show. Yeah.
Yep. I was doing some stuff today. Definitely doing some stuff. We finally got a smoke machine. We ran into the weirdest edge case, man. We had a mesh version and a solid front panel version of the same case, and we loaded up the mesh version with like extra Noctua fans, and the GPU temps were actually nearly identical to the solid front panel version with just like one stock fan in it.
Weird.
Yeah. So it turns out that there's a lot more to optimized case airflow than just making sure your case is meshy.
Making sure it has a lot of holes.
It's going to be a good video. So we got a smoke machine to kind of demonstrate what was happening in this case so that we can
That's cool.
talk through that.
Nice.
So that'll be fun. Tamas, I'd love if LTD would cover more augmented reality news and products. Hey, for sure, bud. Unfortunately, you and dozens of other people, all dozens, the content does not perform well. I'll say this, there's a really cool HoloLens segment in the videos that I was working on overseas.
Oh.
I think I'm allowed to say it was with Intel at this point.
Oh.
Well, it's a whole thing where there was going to be another event, and I wasn't really supposed to talk about that I was there until after the other event was announced, but then Israel closed their borders immediately after I left. So the other event is actually canceled.
Not happening.
So, so I think it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, those videos are coming soon. Joshua asks, do you have any plans for express shipping on LTT stores? Right now, it takes almost a month for orders to ship to India. You would be horrified to see how much it would cost for express shipping. We are far better off focusing on getting our volumes up as high as we can with the shipping provider that we have so that our rates can be as good as they can be. Yes, it's going to take time sometimes. We're sorry. But that's the way that it's going to be for now.
Unless you want to buy a plane ticket for your shirt.
Johannes asked basically the same question. Robert, Christmas bonus time. Make sure the LTT backpack has a thick pad of foam on the bottom. I wouldn't describe it as super thick, but what it is it's constructed in such a way that it actually kind of tapers at the bottom of the pocket. So that helps to keep it from falling down so fast. Neat, right? Let's do that. Simon, how has LTT prepared the office for earthquakes and other potential natural disasters? So because we do live in an earthquake zone, we have pretty stringent earthquake proofness requirements in our building code. Other than that, we haven't really done anything else other than just do what we're supposed to be doing, which is bolt down shelves and stuff.
A lot of it's just baked into the building code.
Yep. Wise, I'm planning to make an Unraid VR/VM/NAS setup. Should I go Intel or AMD? Which is going to give me the fewest issues? I might go Thunderbolt for I/O. Might even mine while the GPU is idle. I know I need a motherboard with good IOMU. Man, that is an extremely sketchy configuration. The odds of having that working, daily driver, perfect, pretty slim. If you can find someone else who has built basically exactly the same thing and has it working perfectly and you can just clone their config, great. But your chances, they suck. They suck big time.
Kenneth is saying that apparently when they remove the dislike button, they're also increasing ads on the site, which I find pretty interesting. I didn't know that part.
Oh, really?
And also he's saying if you guys are hiring accountants in a couple years, when I'm done with my degree, we probably will be. We need accountant applicants now, actually.
Yeah, now is the time we need accountant applicants. Yeah. I mean, in a couple of years, feel free to reach out. Maybe we won't have found anyone yet, but we'll see.
We need, apply now. Do it. Go.
Raphael says, work for a PC retailer assembling pre-builts. The past week has been an actual nightmare, with at least 50 Asus Prime motherboards just dying for no apparent reason, which now have to be returned after we already built most of them. Oh, rough week. But you treated yourself to a neon hard drive t-shirt and an insulated water bottle. Hope you enjoy it.
Nice.
Phil, hey guys, love you both equally. The purchase is a gift for a friend. Mystery water bottle and Northern Lights desk pad. Love it.
Nice.
His name is Race, after Race Bannon. Wow, from Johnny Quest. His name is Race. Wow.
Whoa.
Race Bannon. I love it. All right, cool. Braden says OLED. F***ing awesome. Burn-in. Not f***ing awesome. MicroLED. Perfect middle ground for a PC? Question mark. All right. Here's the problem with MicroLED. Just because an LED is not organic doesn't mean that it won't eventually burn out. In fact, that characteristic, I think I kind of bought into the narrative of, they fade because they're organic. Well, that's a reason that they fade, but LEDs can fade for lots of different reasons. And normal LEDs can also fade. So what I heard back when I was considering the wall from an installer is that it is extremely common for the panels to fade unevenly, which is essentially burn-in, and extremely common for the cabinets to fail. So I was looking at this very expensive, like, what was it, like a $250,000 TV or whatever it was.
It's going to be huge.
Knowing that I was going to have, like, what was it, 16 cabinets or something like that, and that the odds, by the time you have 16 of them installed, of one of them failing in a relatively short period of time was, like, very good. I just kind of was sitting there going, no, I don't think this makes any sense. Now, that's not to say that micro LED won't get better. It very likely will. But if I was going to be excited about anything, it would probably be what James's video, which is coming probably sometime in the next week or two, is about. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it is yet. I think there might be some embargoes involved. But man,
Pretty cool.
pretty cool. If you want some hints as to what the future of TVs might be, you can go watch the video that James also wrote. Future of TVs, I think, is what it was called. The Future of TVs is Not What You Think was a video we released about a year ago that James wrote that should give you some idea of some of the really cool stuff that is coming down the pipe over the next few years.
Thank you, John G.
Chosen 477. I'm finally able to buy your merch. I was expecting free shipping inside Canada, though. Yeah, so same thing. We basically have one big bucket that everyone who orders pays into, and then we use that to pay our shipping provider. And we actually lose about 10% on it. So we're not like gouging. We're just trying to make the merch accessible to everyone, and that's not the best for the people for whom the shipping might have been cheaper, but
Hooray.
Canadian
Yeah.
socialism or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the S in store is for.
No, it's for store. It's LTT store. It's not just S.
Nah, the whole thing's an acronym. Yeah, moving on, I guess. The 2005 water cooling video reminded me that the first time I saw Linus, he was doing maintenance on a custom loop with what I say. Oh, yep. The Silverstone TJ11.
Nice.
It's been a minute.
Good old Silverstone TJ11. Man, Silverstone. They have had some good shiz over the years. TJ11. Man, was that back when, what's their face? Maximum PC used to do their, like, Dream PC builds and all that good stuff?
Those were so cool.
TJ11. I love that Silverstone archives all their cases on their site. Why doesn't every manufacturer do that? Why do they just remove all reference to their old products as though they never existed?
It's kind of weird.
Like, there was a creator who was trying to create like a digital museum of Apple's marketing over the years, because they will just expunge it when they're done with it. And he was like, but this is sort of really important, historical
Design and stuff.
Yeah,
there's a lot that goes into marketing.
There's a lot that goes into it. And he was like, this is historically really important. And so he had it all archived somewhere, and they were basically like, cease and desist. You may not display this. This is our copyrighted material. And they're not wrong. It's just lame. But I mean, I guess
annoying.
they can't put it all in a table book for $250 if it's freely available on the internet, right?
Fair.
I mean, but that's the irony, right? Is that they did it anyway, and people bought the book anyway, so clearly it didn't matter. Apparently the TJ11 is still on sale. Are you serious?
I was gonna kind of ask, like, has Silverstone done a lot lately?
Yeah.
I know they really pushed to increase SKU counts. I'm sure they're still doing that, but like,
Believe it or not, Silverstone has a case coming that we have a video coming about that is flipping amazing.
cool.
You know what? Why don't you do a couple more merch messages? I'll go grab it. I think
Okay.
it's right over there.
Sweet. Thoughts on the Flow
Oh,
X13?
well, that's a question for me.
I know.
The Flow X13, I'm surprised you didn't love it. The one issue I have with it is it kind of feels like the display is either I don't know. It's like low contrast, or it has readability issues from a distance. That's the only issue I had with it. The battery life is just awesome for something with a dedicated GPU in it. The performance is great. I used it on my trip to Tel Aviv, and I thought it was awesome gaming with it on the go. Yeah, I still love it. I've got two. Oh no, the Silverstone machine has been moved. They cleaned the set. Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it elsewhere. All right, BRB.
All right. Dennis says, watching your content since 2015 and still loving it. Convinced my friend to buy some sweet merch with me, so take some of our first income. Nice. Heck yeah. I appreciate, well, not me, but we appreciate your first income. Steam Link finally died. That actually sucks. Those were pretty cool. Is a $200 Shield Pro really the best alternative right now for couch PC streaming? Left my old water bottle on the bus, so finally getting a replacement. I think a lot of that depends on how far away the computer is, how realistic it is to run cables through walls, things like that. I don't think I'm up on streaming to the TV technology right now. I know Shields have done it very well in the past, but if you could do it with a wire, it's pretty good. How much are 20-ounce in real units? Google's really, really good at that. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be sassy. I have no idea, and Google for sure knows. And Google actually has, I don't know if you guys know this, it has built-in calculator things for equations like that. So it will do it for sure and well. Good to see. Desk pad measurements are in metric. It has both, actually. Okay. I think the desk pad measurements might be in metric. I think you're right. The desk pad configurator, which is not out yet, has both. Could we get another Terran macro guide, but this time for Linus?
No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't really use macros. I don't video edit, so that's the thing.
Yeah. The reason why I tilted my head, I was like, why?
Yeah,
what would you even use it for?
I have a confession. Back in my younger days, I had macros for some of my most commonly used passwords. Like, I'm talking back like OG G15 days.
Oh, man.
Because password managers like we have them now weren't a thing.
Did you have one set up for your Windows password?
No.
Okay.
I think the Logitech driver didn't load pre-login or whatever back then.
Not that you couldn't just extremely easily bypass Windows passwords back then.
Yeah,
but
so whatever.
Whatever.
Alex says, my Steam Link finally died. Is a $200 Shield Pro really the best alternative right now for couch PC streaming? Yeah, kind of. And it does a lot of other stuff well as well.
I said
it's really good.
Try to run a cable if you can.
Oh, have you gone through these but not archived them?
All of them except for that one. Oh, no.
And this one.
I pressed that.
What LTT shirt does Luke have on? I want it. That's Elemental, baby.
Yeah.
That was our biggest product flop ever.
Yeah.
But then we turned it into a success by selling it for cheap. And get this, we're bringing it back for a third time. We're ready to flop even harder than before.
Why?
Because
aren't you guys having a hard time getting shirts in general? Why wouldn't you use it for different shirts?
We can get black ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we can get enough black ones that we can do another Elemental. So basically the way Elemental seems to kind of work now is we take the two top-selling designs from the last failure, or like the least worst ones. We continue those. We do two more, and then rinse and repeat. So that's what we're doing again. We're taking the two best of the worst from last time, and then Lloyd has done up two more new colors. So there are now a total of 8 Elemental designs over 3 generations once the new ones launch, and they too can be yours for, I don't know, you could buy them for full price, but
or just wait.
If you hold out, we just might discount them. Sorry, I had something stuck in my eye there. Like, it's such a stupid product because we don't make any money on it, but it seems to actually generate a shocking amount of hype, and there are people who actually do like it, so that's cool.
I think they're fine. I don't think they're necessarily as cool as some of the other options, which is why I think they might not sell that well. I don't think it's a bad shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I just think there's a lot of other, like, potentially cooler ones.
And you see, we are going to be getting more WAN hoodies as soon as we can. as soon as we can. I don't want to promise anything because worldwide logistics is so screwed up right now that if I promised something, I'm basically setting myself up to be a big liar.
Thanks, Tomic.
This purchase is sponsored by my birthday. Oh,
gone.
okay. Hey, Linus and Luke, picking up a new lanyard for my badge as I just started a new IT job a month ago. I've been watching since 2012 and knew nothing about tech beforehand. Now I'm starting a career. Heck yeah, Brian.
Cool.
David W. Hi from the UK. Been watching since the house. Just turned 18 a few weeks back. Are there plans for a Wi-Fi mesh comparison video? I would love to do it, but we don't really have a suitable test platform for it right now. What we need is a relatively RF clean environment so that we can isolate our variables, and it's just not something that we have available to us at the moment.
Kind of need both because you want to test it out in a messy environment too. Anyways,
Yep.
yeah, I'm sure you're aware.
Greetings from Serbia. Been with you since the beloved kitchen, and that one disappeared.
No, it's just down one.
Christopher says, love the new party shirt. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, never mind. We'll show that one. Really appreciate your work. Keep it up. Hey, heck yeah. Yeah, I really wish a lot of these we had just pushed to the thing. That's okay. Here's something for the Linux challenge. Stupid Stuff Windows Does Edition. Step 1, use the Xbox app to install a few games to a secondary drive. Step 2, do a fresh install. Step 3, enjoy inaccessible, undeletable folders. I believe you. Man, I had to get the new Minecraft launcher for my kids, and it was a mess. Like the one in the Xbox store or whatever, just total mess. The old Java Edition launcher was just perfect for both Minecraft and Dungeons. It was fine.
I haven't tried it, but I have heard if you get Halo through Steam, you get the cross-platform play thing, so you can play it on Xbox, but your save doesn't transfer. It only transfers if you bought it through the Windows Store, which is just like, why?
Okay.
It's not even like that big of a deal because I don't know that many people that are going to play a single-player game on both.
Mm-hmm.
But like, some people will.
Alex F. slowly replacing all my underwear with LTT. Heck yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, thumbs up. Does this banner support emoji? Well, we didn't push yours to the banner, so I guess we don't know still.
I think so because anyways.
Okay, Dagan says, been watching since 2017. Love the content merch. Keep it up. Hey, thanks, Dagan. Verla. Hey, you're welcome. Glad your boyfriend will enjoy it. Hey, we got a couple of these ones, and we got two more. After Anthony's latest MacBook Pro M1 Max review, for creative purposes, would you still prefer MacBook, seeing that it falls short of the 3060 mobile in all tests except video editing? Really, the answer is, what software are you running? Because if the software that you're running needs a Mac, then buy a Mac. And if it doesn't, then don't buy a Mac.
That was like when my mom was working on movies and TV shows and stuff.
Yep.
A lot of sets kind of required iOS devices because they used things like AirDrop or
For
whatever
sure.
else.
Yep, I can see that.
And there was like a mild debate starting about like whether or not she should get an iOS device. She's never used one before. And the conclusion, which we probably should have gotten to a little bit faster, but we did get to, was like, it doesn't matter. She has to get one. So like, let's just get it and then try to learn it. And luckily she adapted to it really fast and everything was fine. But yeah.
Alexis, I want to buy your water bottle, but it's metal, and that usually makes my water taste metallic. Does that happen with your bottles? So they end up with a bit of like manufacturing stank taste for, I'd say, probably somewhere between the first 5 and 15 washes. Like, I'm pretty sensitive to it. So I'll take a new bottle and I'll just sit and I will wash it like 5 or 10 times. But after that, no, I do not detect any metallic taste. And if you go on the site, we do not censor our reviews. I hate it when companies do this. Every review, aside from ones that are spam, every review stays on the site. So if you go through the 471 reviews, I actually remember reading one that mentioned metallic tastes like yesterday or today or something like that. But you can see we actually get so many reviews on the site that all of these are from today, these 5. If we go on to the next page, all of these are from today.
Yeah, we remove ones that are clearly spam or are clearly inappropriate. There's ones that have had like lots of wording in it that is like not appropriate for a tech review. So that's a thing. Had nothing to do with like the actual product, etc. Those are the only things that would be removed.
Oh, you know what? I think the review I saw was on the mystery bottle. Mystery bottle. This
By
one
the
doesn't
way-
have as many reviews either because, well, it's got a lot.
Jake is holding the case hostage.
Does he have it?
He has it.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't find it. Where is it?
I think he hid it from you.
Oh. Speaking of which, Jake is coming over for gaming tonight. Do you want to come too?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So why don't we just
That
all head to
sounds
my house
sweet.
after?
Yeah, nice.
Okay, here it is from Evan Jensen. Perfect. Doesn't have metallic aftertaste. Boom. You heard it
Boom.
from Evan first. My biggest gripe with reusable water bottles is that most give the water a metallic taste. These do not have that problem. Hey, there you go.
Yay.
Confirmed. And we've apparently got some gaming to do now, so we will see you all later. Thanks, Hi B, with this shirt. I will always wear it with Linus and Luke in my heat-sinking heart. Thank you. Weird comment. Love it. We'll see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye.
What a weird message. I love it. Whoa. Hold on, there might be one super chat I gotta do. Okay, hold on. There's one super chat I gotta do. Rusty Trampoline says, Linus, would house delays and rumors of an LG 97-inch 4K OLED in 2022 cause you to rethink your home theater choices? 97-inch OLED?
It's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty big.
I think I want to go projector, though. I think we've got light control in the room now. I think we're going 130-inch projector. And Rob from AV Rant was like, you got to go JVC. But then there's also an Epson that we want to check out as well. So that's, I think, what the contenders are at the moment.
Cool.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.